Hello there. VR has many ways of describing it, but to me it is one of the most immersive ways to play games. You are not just controlling a character that is shooting a gun, wielding a blade, and so on and so forth. You are that character. While it can do that really with 100% accuracy, since it would need so much more than just your VR headset to do so. I mean, to come close to achieving 100% immersiveness, you would need to feel the impact of the world around your body. You have to smell your surroundings, walk using your physical body, and have your character's movements accurately correspond to your body movements. While quite a few of those are achievable today, it can get expensive real fast. Not counting the cost of the VR headset itself, the VR treadmills, slide mills, whatever you wanna call them, can cost thousands or more, and full body tracking, the topic of today's video, can cost a lot as well. The most reliable option, Wild Tracker 3.0's, cost 154 euros each, and you are gonna need at least 3. So it will mean that the whole cost would come up to 462 euros just for the trackers. Say you are using literally anything else than base station tracked headsets, then you have to buy also at least 2 of those, and the cost will add up to the point where the overall cost will be at least 952 euros. Like what? The tracking can get real expensive real quick, as I said. If you have some items on that list already, then you can get away with spending less, but damn. There are other cheaper options available, like Slime VR, that are 189 euros for 5 lower body trackers, which is a lot better price wise. But since they are IMU trackers instead of laser trackers, they can suffer from drift issues, although the idea of snuggling in blanket with the trackers is actually really nice, not gonna lie. I have my own solution though for full body tracking, that is. It is unconventional, that's probably the right word. And I'm gonna show it to you today. So what, do I use phone camera to track my movements? Kinect, Joy-Cons? No to all of these. My solution may just be one of the weirder ones than all of those and some other options out there. I am actually using Oculus Rift CV1 controllers as full body tracking. Nope, I swear I am not joking. There are some really talented people out there who have figured out how to use these controllers as your full body tracking. I am not one of those talented people, clearly. I followed some YouTube tutorials to get it all working. And it is hell accurate as well, I mean, yeah. Hey Andrew, did you specifically buy Rift CV1 for that? No, not really. Some of my friends may know that Oculus Rift CV1 was my first ever VR headset I bought 4 to 5 years ago now. I loved it so much, and I was so sad when the headset gave up the ghost, kind of, with not showing the display within the headset after it fell from my table. Meta software recognizes this headset though, so that is why I'm still able to use those controllers as trackers. Here is what is needed for all of this to work. First, you're gonna obviously need Oculus Rift CV1 with preferably 3 controllers, but you can use your headset as hip trackers or just no hip tracker at all. Also, at least 2 sensors is what you need. You can use more than 2 sensors for more accurate tracking, but it's not necessary, so to speak. You can still get away with 2. You need MetaLink software installed on your PC so the Rift can communicate with your PC properly. You're gonna need a VR headset that isn't another Rift or a Rift S. Quest headsets, when used through Meta software, also will not work. You will have to figure out another way. I can give you example of 2 ways you can bypass Meta software and use your Meta headsets as VR headsets for your PC, despite Rift being connected. Virtual desktop and ALVR. Virtual desktop costs money if you care about that, so if you don't wanna waste much money at all, you can go the ALVR route. ALVR, I have had bad experiences personally with it, but also my last experience with it was at least 3 years ago, so things could be much better now. So I would still recommend checking that out as well. This next thing you're gonna need is software that will act as a communication layer of sorts between your actual VR headset, SteamVR and Rift CV1. If you wanna go paid option, you can use Driver for VR, which is relatively easy to use and works fine. But there is also a combination of Oculus TouchLink and OpenVR Space Calibrator you can use, which are both free options that work decently well, and I am using them right now. And for this tutorial we are also going to go this route of Oculus TouchLink and OpenVR Space Calibrator. First things first, I have to set up my Rift through Meta software. That includes putting sensors around your play space. Oculus's sensors can't be no more than 2 meters apart, so keep this in mind. They have to be able to see your contra trackers, which is my term for controllers used as trackers in this video. Connect all the necessary cables to your PC. Ideally they would all be in USB 3.0 ports, but for one sensor and a Rift headset you can use USB 2 ports if you have no other option. Set up the Rift, create a Guardian, and so on. When you are done setting up your Oculus Rift, assuming you have a third controller, add it as a VR object. It will act as your hip tracker. Now when you have completed that, install other necessary software if needed. In my case, even though I have a Pico headset, which means I could default to my Pico software if I wanted to, I am still going to use Virtual Desktop for this. And for this video we are also going to definitely install OpenVR Space Calibrator and Oculus TouchLink for the middleman between your headset, Rift CV1 and SteamVR. Before going into VR, figure out a way to mount the controllers to your body. For legs, I use these old blue loafers and strings to secure them to the loafers. Maybe sneakers would work even better for this, but loafers work fine for me. For waist controller, I used this huge belt and some strings to secure it to my waist. And now when that is done, make your Rift to sensor tracking test and leave it be. This ensures your Rift will always be in active state, so controllers could be tracked. From here, in the Oculus TouchLink folder that you dragged into the Steam VR drivers folder, edit the program run as trackers with Notepad and put in this line, save it and then run it. Command prompt will run from here and also this tab will open. Make sure to check this box here. This will ensure that your controllers are actually going to appear in the game and appear as trackers. Now you are good to connect your actual VR headset to your PC. If whatever way you connect it has the option Virtual Desktop sure does, make sure staged tracking is enabled. You are now good to run Steam VR.
Hey Andrew, I don't see the trackers.
Huh. It is possible SteamVR is being a biatch and isn't enabling OpenVR Space Calibrator by itself. To fix that, look at your desktop and click here and click on the settings from here and click this and make sure OpenVR Space Calibrator is enabled. Then restart SteamVR and you should see the trackers now floating around your play space. From there, select OpenVR Space Calibrator from the toolbar, choose what controller and what tracker you want to calibrate. You only have to calibrate one pair of them. I will do a slow calibration, but you can do a fast one if you prefer that. Do a figure 8 pattern movements with your controller and tracker being as close together as humanly possible. And from there you are good to use these trackers. So how well do they track? Since in their tech they are similar-ish quality to Vive's own trackers, they track decently well. Movement is precise enough, depth is also well tracked, unlike the phone option, like using a phone camera, webcam or whatever, which doesn't track depth at all. And overall, I can see people being very happy with the tracking quality offered here, and for best quality you would add 2 extra sensors to your backside, but even 2 sensor tracking can do already decent tracking. Laying down works also pretty well, and so does sitting. I've been sitting this entire video. I don't know how to dance, so sadly I cannot really show you that. But it seems to be pretty precise in its tracking. Question some of you may have is, who is this tracking system even for? If you want most straightforward full body tracking with no complications whatsoever, then this method may not be for you. Setting it up, while simple enough, can also feel overwhelming for some. Also, you basically have to recalibrate your tracker's next play session despite stage tracking feature on Virtual Desktop turned on. At least for me it seems to be the case every time. This method is for people who are willing to get crafty with their solutions. Generally couple pieces of wood to be microphone stands and so on, for people like that. Also, it would be absolutely nice for those who already own CV1, but at least here Rift CV1s go for relatively cheap these days. Like you can find some sold here for as low as €100. That's way cheaper than the official alternatives. I personally am very happy with the tracking that I can achieve with this Rift CV1 controllers. Even though I may eventually move forward from this way of full body tracking, it still has a special place in my heart. Anyway, this is the way I do full body tracking at this moment. Simple and yet kinda complicated at the same time, weirdly enough. Thank you all for watching this video and see you next time. Bye bye.